Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to do a short video on how to choose a hair transplant doctor. And so I want to explain to you how it works. The best example that I can give you is cosmetic surgery that's coming out of Hollywood. So if you were to observe much of the work that is out there, many would describe it as bizarre and hideous. All you would need to do is do a Google search on Hollywood cosmetic surgery, and not to be mean, but it almost becomes somewhat of a freak show. With that being said, one would have to ask, the doctors that did this work on these fairly wealthy celebrities, who are they? Do you know? Do you think if you searched long enough you'd be able to find out? Or would it be difficult? Chances are it would be very difficult, because nobody names names. In fact, most of these Hollywood celebrities probably wouldn't even admit that they've had a surgical procedure. The big reason for this is there's a sense of shame. Even though it's apparent to anyone that sees them, they're not going to talk about it. Not only are they not going to talk about it, those people that they encounter just generally throughout the day, they're not going to bring it up, even though it's very noticeable. It's all just kept very, very quiet. So outside of shame, why are not these same celebrities talking about doctors that have damaged them? The big reason would be that if they were to name names, there's a good chance they would be sued. The big reason being is that cosmetic surgery is something that it's all about perception. The doctor's perception is that procedure turned out great. The celebrity thinks they look bizarre. And so, in order for you to convince a jury that your cosmetic procedure that you elected to have done is bizarre, is very, very difficult. So, like I said, outside of the shame, there's a good chance that these same celebrities, if they were to name the names of the doctors that did this to them, they would be sued. So everything is kept quiet. And this is how it's able to go on year after year after year with nobody really knowing who's doing what. Guess what? Hair transplantation pretty much works the same way. All these guys that are out there, probably I would say that they probably, it would not surprise me that they numbered in the hundreds of thousands that have been disfigured or are extremely disgruntled about their procedure. They're out there, but they're not naming names, because it pretty much works the same way. The majority of them feel a sense of great shame, so they're not going to talk about it. And people they encounter in daily life are not going to bring it up. It's just something they have to live with silently. So now, if you think you're going to go online and you're going to pick a doctor from a list that someone puts together, they're going to put together a website, or they're going to get on YouTube here and tell you who to go to, you really do not understand how the system works. It works exactly the way I just explained it to you. Yes, there are some doctors out there that are doing good work. If I had to make a suggestion, I would say find doctors that do not depend on marketers. They have a body of work that has transpired over many years, and they have someone in-house that helps to get their name out there and create that exposure online. Word of mouth, probably it's not going to happen too much because people don't want to talk about the procedure. I can tell you who I went to after, what, 30 years of traveling all over the world and being very disappointed. But the problem with that is if I were to give you this doctor's name and you had a procedure and it didn't turn out so well, which is possible, then maybe you'll sue me. See, it's all about suing people. Suing people keeps everybody in line. Now, ask yourself, do you want to sign up for something like that? If your procedure turns out to be less than expected, you're going to have to live with it. So do what I suggested, and most importantly, meet patients in person. You want to see a very bald patient, Norwood 6, that has had a procedure done. That will give you the true reality. Not some young kid that had 3,000 grafts planted into his hairline. It doesn't tell you anything. You want to see someone that's been very bald. Or you can find someone that is, like the front half of their head is bald and everything else is thick. Because then what you're going to get an idea of is what that transplanted hair looks when it's butted up against thick hair. This hair will be all see-through, and this will be thick. And what it creates is it creates a situation where it's very hard to style your hair because it's very noticeable. It's got you're going to have like a dividing point where it goes from thin, see-through, thick caliber hairs that don't look natural, butted up against very thick hair. Like I said, very few doctors can pull off this procedure. If you believe anything else, then you do not understand the procedure and you do not understand the industry. Thank you for watching my video. See you on the next one.